Consumer spending in the U.S. remains strong despite inflation and the Fed's fight to cool the economy. Many analysts are now pointing to a soft landing for the economy. For more on what that could mean for President Biden ahead of his reelection fight, we turn to Yahoo Finance's own Rick Newman. Hi, Rick. Happy Friday.
Hey, guys. You were talking about strong retail sales earlier. That was the big story this week. Everybody seems to be raising their GDP forecast. The Atlanta Fed GDP Now tool is saying GDP for the third quarter could be 5.8%. That metric often overshoots, but I mean, come on, that's almost 6%. So why is this happening and what is going on? And I think the important question is, can this last? And the possible answer is it may not last. There's another interesting thing out this week from the San Francisco Fed. This was an examination of this phenomenon we've seen in the aftermath of COVID that economists call excess savings. So when Americans were stuck inside during the pandemic, they saved something like maybe $2.1 trillion more than they would have saved if we were in a normal economy. And for the last year and a half or so, they've been spending that down. And that is one of the things that has really kept spending buoyant. So guess what? That $2.1 trillion is probably now down to less than $200 billion, according to this analysis by the San Francisco Fed. It's falling by about $100 billion per month, which means by the fall, that excess savings could be completely gone. And at that point, what is going to fuel this super strong consumer spending? Who knows? Consumers are very hard to predict at this point. Things are not going according to the usual patterns in the aftermath of COVID. But that is one thing that could bring a slowdown. And of course, President Biden has dodged a recession so far. He needs to get through about another year or 15 months before the next election. Will he make it? These are going to be the factors that determine whether he does.
Speaking of that point about him dodging a recession. So, Rick, if we only see a short, shallow recession, or say we don't see one at all, how would that impact Republican arguments against Biden during this campaign season?
The Republicans possibly have been making a mistake by attacking Biden on inflation. Think about the old adage, you have to skate to where the puck is going and not skate to where the puck is. Well, inflation is going down. And we know from a lot of analysis of presidential elections going back decades, what really matters for an incumbent president is the state of economy around this time in an election year, 3, 4, 5 months before the election, because that is when voters are the ones who are on the fence anyway are making up their minds. Should we give the guy in office another 4 years, or should we give him the boot? So if there's a short recession and a mild one that could put us in a recovery by next spring or next summer, that might be fine for Biden. I think the thing that the White House probably worries about is that the recession that has been delayed by quarter by quarter by quarter, that it might actually materialize, let's say, next spring or next summer, which would be terrible timing for Biden. But you know what? He can't really control that as much as he wants to pretend that he deserves all the credit for everything that's happening in the economy. The president does not control the economy very much. So he should just enjoy the economy we have today because it's pretty good.
All right. That's a great place to put a pin in it. Rick Newman, thank you so much. Have a great weekend, Rick.
Happy weekend, guys. See you.